Hello and welcome to the second episode of Magic the Gathering Economics. I know it's been a long time, but because of the overall positive response to the first episode, I've decided to continue. Today we will be looking at some of the most expensive cards from the new Theros set, why they are so expensive, and what we can expect to see from them in the future. First of all are the Gods, which price from $9.47 to $23.97. It isn't hard to see why these cards are desirable. Being the main draw of the set, the Gods naturally are pretty powerful. At only 4 cost for a 5 to 6 power and 5 to 7 toughness creature that is indestructible is quite a bargain. The only problem is that they aren't technically creatures until your devotion, or amount of mana symbols and the cost of a card, is 5 or greater of the God's color. Each God has their own unique strength. Theros can pump out huge damage using Elspeth and other token cards. Thassa can help decide what you draw and becomes a 4-turn win con quickly. Erebos works quite well with cards like Sip of Hemlock and his Whip. Heliod can throw out tons of vigilant tokens fast, and Nelia can pump your already big green creatures to the point of being too large to handle. Since Theros is quite focused on monocolor decks, the Gods will probably become an immense force. Next is Elspeth Sun's Champion, who prices $34.95 on average. Used correctly, the new Elspeth has the potential to become a broken card. Whereas her older form could only conjure 1 token per turn, this better version can make 3. The aforementioned combo with Theros means that Elspeth can deal 6 damage per turn. Also, her first roll-down ability works well in conjunction with her ultimate, as your now winged soldiers are just below her line of impact. Try using her with Assembled Legion and Door of Destinies with a Phalanx leader for maximum effect. Next up is Xenagos the Reveler, whose price is at $26.80. Xenagos is like Burning Tree Emissary on steroids with awesome powers. His first ability, which adds mana to your pool equal to the number of creatures you have, gets better and better with each consecutive turn. In Gruul and Naya decks, which are focused on creatures, he can unleash huge monsters with only 4 lands. He works especially well with all the Hydras besides the Colonian, and his other 2 effects only serve to make him even better at bringing out beasts. Next up, Ashiok Nightmare Weaver, priced at $17.99. Move aside, Jace, there's a new mill engine in town. Ashiok is a huge early game force and can cause a lot of damage quickly. His main draw, in my opinion, is his +2 effect, which exiles the top 3 cards of a player's library. With Nephalia Drownyard cycling, this will be a good replacement for that effect. However, it really gets good when you read his -X effect, which brings back creatures from the exile to fight for you, even your opponents. With his +2 effect in mind, you could bring out big creatures quite early in the game. This also works with his ultimate. Thoughtseize, which is priced at $24.50 average. Thoughtseize, which lets you pay 2 life to discard a non-land card from your opponent's hand, can stop a deck's plan before it even begins, knocking off a counterspell, a planeswalker, an essential win con, or a big creature. This is a big effect, especially in the early game, when they're trying to get their small creatures out. If they only have one creature of a certain color, then this can be a huge hit. Finally is Stormbreath Dragon. This dragon is a big one, with flying, haste, protection from white, and monstrosity 3 to boot. His monstrous effect deals damage to a player equal to the number of cards in their hand. Unless they're top decking, this will probably deal enough damage to make the dragon a 2-turn win con at least. Since he costs 5, you can likely be able to make him monstrous in only 2 turns. This makes him a ticking time bomb that is effective in all aggro decks. So those are the hot cards of Theros. I expect the prices will change as Innistrad rotates out, as well as when Born of the Gods and Journey into Nyx are introduced. But for now, expect to see these cards in competitive battles everywhere. I know this episode is kind of short and seems rather